Well, it's a common joke that many professions don't really practice what they preach. Say, for example, a mechanic has a poor running car, or a horticulturist with a shabby lawn. But I'm going to introduce you to someone who has a profession that she truly does practice what she preaches. And Melynda Hickman, welcome to Oklahoma Gardening.
Well, welcome to Hickmania.
Yeah, thanks for having us out. Now, you're a non-game wildlife biologist, I guess.
Yes.
And truly, it's very evident that you do practice what you preach here at your home. Now, tell us, I guess, first of all, you and I have become very good friends this year because we've been working with your department. Tell us a little bit more about that program.
Well, our partnership that we started, I guess, back last fall to establish some backyard habitat in the studio gardens. We've been looking for a place like yours for a long time. And we've been able to provide features, consulting with some plant ideas, and just have a grand old time.
Well, and we've been looking forward to coming and visiting with you. Now, tell us about your backyard, a little bit about the size and where you're located and how long this has been in the works.
Okay, you are in Norman, Oklahoma, and we are in a subdivision that's maybe 20 years old, so the trees are not as mature as in other areas. This was probably a prairie, actually, a long, long time ago. We have 4,300 square feet, and Steve, we've been working on this for about 7 years.
Okay, now you've provided all of the basics like we talked about, what?
Right, the basic elements in all habitat, food, water, shelter, and I think you'll find it all here.
Right. Well, let's talk about some specifics. Now, one thing I've already noticed, you have some things in the ground, but you're still providing habitat in containers.
Yes, you don't have to have a lot of acreage or just a yard. You can have a patio garden, and we have parsley and fennel. Any member of the carrot family, dill family, provide larva food plants for the tiger swallowtail butterfly. It's so beautiful.
Right, so that's a nice addition, and I see containers sitting around the yard, and you even said window box.
Window boxes are perfect opportunities to provide food for hummingbirds and butterflies.
Okay, now tell me what this is.
Well, it looks a little strange, and in the wintertime, that's where we have our suet. In the spring, this is where we provide nesting material for birds, and we were having a little experiment this year. We provided different colors, and I think you will see that white is probably the color that they did not choose.
And who's using it? I mean, have you seen it show up in a nest?
Yes, not only have we seen it in a blue jay nest here in the yard, but also the squirrel nest in the pine tree, and also chickadees were using it.
Okay. Now, you tell me this is one of your oldest bird feeders?
It's an old bird feeder, about 10 years old, from a gentleman in Georgia. It's hollowed out on the inside. You fill the seed in from the top. I love it because it looks very natural, and the woodpeckers, that's their favorite feeder to come to.
Okay. Now, what do we have here?
Maybe not the most attractive kind of feeder, but I have dowel rods stuck in the top of this patio divider so I can hold my fruit in place. The fruit is for orioles, oranges in particular, the squirrels, the butterflies particularly enjoy the oranges and the apples.
Okay. Now, we've actually seen a butterfly land.
We have.
Right? What kind was that?
That was a hackberry butterfly. We figured out it was a male hackberry as well. And they like rotting fruit, and certainly the hackberry trees are where the larvae grow up to become butterflies.
Right. Now, we're learning a lot about habitats, and we've recently been talking about butterfly habitats, but on behind here you have another interesting feature for the butterfly. What in the world is that for?
Well, as you know, butterflies cannot drink from a direct source of water, and so we've created a puddle that has sand in it with some salt, some minerals in it, and we keep it moist. There are rocks on there for them to land on, and they extract the minerals and the moisture from the sand.
So they're not really using it to take a bath in or anything like that?
They don't need to take
harmful,
it sure would be. They would certainly would ruin their scales.
Okay.
But we have a little dripper there for ease in keeping that moist.
Okay. Now, in researching all this, and we hear talked about quite a bit putting brush piles in. You have one.
You bet.
What were you using it for? And is it beneficial?
It's been beneficial for wildlife and for us. It's an easy place for us to put our limbs. But the box turtles in particular, we find hibernate in the brush pile, and that's a real benefit there as well.
And also, you say a few mice come out?
Well, yes, if you promise not to show this to my husband, we do. We are creating habitat for mice with the hopes of attracting screech owls into our neighborhood.
Okay, and you have a screech owl box up
We're ready for
too.
them.
Okay. Now also on another corner I noticed you're putting out supplemental food through eggshells.
Yes, the female birds are needing calcium for their egg-laying capabilities, and we provide eggshells, which you can put in compost or you can provide it for the birds.
Well, the neat thing about your landscape too is the way you have it designed, it looks bigger than what it is because you have hidden corners. So let's take a walk around here and see what else we can find.
Let's go look here. Now, Steve, I've got some more fruit out here as well.
Okay, now this is over, what, on an old bird bath or something?
It's an old bird bath. It won't hold water anymore, and I've got a variety of fruits here, and as it gets older and older, that's even more valuable to the butterflies, and if that doesn't work, the possums will come in and have their share.
Well, now with the stream here, you've made a nice stream that goes into holding pond at the end, and you've got all the benefits for the water and everything, but we've noticed another little critter crawling around. What's happened there?
Yes, we have a little box turtle that's decided that it needs a little bit of water as well. It's not a water turtle. It does just need to drink water every once in a while.
Okay, so all kinds of critters are using them.
Yes, particularly birds.
Well, now one thing too with the plant material that's real important here, you tell me, was the way you've designed it for...
We designed it to have the leaves and the branches droop over because birds like to land, get a look around, make sure there's no problems around before they come down into the water.
And you've obviously got a lot of shade, so you've selected shade-tolerant plants.
I selected shade. I like the moss on the stones too.
Right, very nice. And of course the sound of the water adds a little bit more benefit for you too, doesn't it?
You bet.
Now, Melynda, it looks like the stream is attached to another water garden here.
Right, this is a raised garden, no digging at all. That was kind of fun to not have to worry about sweating so much, but we did raise it up, and it looks like it's attached to the stream, but it's not. We wanted to, for budgetary sake, have two different phases here, so we built the raised pond first, and then we got a trough here that looks like it feeds into the stream. The stream came second.
So a very nice pointer, I guess, on how to save some money that way and do it in phases. And it looks like it's all one garden.
Right.
And I think people would enjoy seeing that too, because again, you just use the liner right up on top of the ground with the landscaping blocks.
And it makes it more formal if you want a little more formal situation.
Very nice. Now,
thanks.
In the corner, it's kind of interesting too as we're walking around. Talk about what's in the corner there.
Okay, in the corner we have a sand pile built with rocks built up on top, and that is there for the lizards and turtles that like this ground cover, and then a nice little open area to sun in and provide some shelter primarily.
Right. Okay. And of course now we're going to walk through what you call your butterfly garden.
Butterfly hummingbird garden.
Various perennial plants, a few
some
annuals, right? Butterfly box. Now, back here, though, even further back, is another water garden, right?
Yes, Steve, one more. This was our first one.
Okay, and you have even different critters in this one, too, don't you?
Yes, we actually have mosquito fish, which are native fish that eat young mosquito larvae. The plants, the prickleweed here has butterfly, bumblebee benefits. We also have a little resident ribbon snake that I'm sure is enjoying fish and some of the tadpoles that are there.
Okay, so you've definitely provided a lot of water sources. Is it because it's a favorite of yours?
I'm afraid it is. It's very relaxing.
Well, now, Melynda, let's have a seat over here because I want you to show me something here. You know, a lot of people, such as yourself, when they put in a wildlife habitat, they take a lot of pride in it, obviously.
Yeah.
This is a kit that I want you to kind of talk about in a way for people to get further recognition, right?
This is an excellent program. It's been going on for a long time. It's sponsored by the National Wildlife Federation.
Okay.
And this is a way that you can put all your hard work, show it to large organization and have them certify your backyard. They'll actually send you a certificate with a number.
Okay.
And for now and always, that number will be registered. All you have to do is show that you have food, water, and shelter in your backyard for wildlife.
Now I noticed in the kit, which you actually purchased, there's a newsletter and a book to help with that and the right forms and everything. And we were able to find this at the Wild Birds Unlimited in Tulsa, the kit available, which is a nice store to ooh and ah over as well. But I understand you guys are also working on a similar project, right?
Right. We'd like to bring recognition to the people in Oklahoma who have developed their backyards. We have different kinds of habitats in Oklahoma than other places. And so we will be starting in January, we will have a certification program available for Oklahomans.
Well, that's encouraging. And I've noticed too, as we're closing out here, it looks like your habitat is now starting to encroach into the front yard too.
We are expanding, yes.
Well, that's interesting though to see it kind of shape up in phases. And thank you again so much for having us on.
We were thrilled to have you guys here.
And for all your help at Oklahoma Garden.
Oh, well, we'll see if we can't keep it going.
All right, thanks again.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.